Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Mendoza and I have chosen to discuss my analysis on the IT-related issue of data breaching as it has been a trending problem recently. So what exactly is a data breach? A data breach occurs when confidential, sensitive, or protected data has been potentially viewed, compromised, or used by an unauthorized source. This could be an individual hacker or a group of hackers. The data that is often breached includes personal identifiable information such as social security numbers or PIN numbers. Trade secrets include the distribution and/or manufacturing methods, and oftentimes this, along with intellectual property, are popular targets for hackers to compromise from an organization. Back in 2013, do you guys recall? The popular retailer Target was the focus of attention because of the data breach that occurred. This inflicted stress and panic on its customers whose private information was stolen. So what happened was hackers installed malware into the security and payment system. The personal information of customers was captured at the point of sale devices. Data that was stolen included their card numbers, names, expiration dates, address information, and more. The implication of this data breach was that awareness towards the greater issue, which was the lack of security in credit cards and credit card system machines, this brought to light the need to develop greater security, such as the chip cards, which we now see is becoming the new standard. Another example of data breaching occurred just this last year. Do you recall when the CSU system was caught up in a data breach scandal? This happened via a third-party website. Students were required to complete this mandatory agent of change training online, and in order to do so, they needed to enter in personal identifiable login information. What happened was personal data was exposed for over 79,000 students. The implication of this issue was the onslaught of outrage and distrust in the CSU login system, but most of all in the mandatory training itself. So why is the issue of data breaching important? Well, first off, if an organization, private, public, large, or small, encounters a data breach incident, this automatically results in a lack of confidence and trust in their security management and capabilities. Security and control needs to be a top priority because of the massive transmission and storage of personal data. This can result in a lifetime of stress and anxiety for individuals whose data has been stolen, especially when it comes to identity theft. An organization needs to be secured when dealing with the transaction of people's personal information. Customers or anyone interacting with the organization need to be able to trust the security and handling of their information. Otherwise, they're not going to want to conduct business with that organization anymore. Now, what needs to be done to prevent the issue? Well, risk assessment should be done on current and new technologies, software, and such to catch the risks ahead of time. Again, there needs to be a focus on information systems and application controls to ensure the safety of data holding. The value of information assets, points of vulnerability, frequency of problems, and potential implications need to be determined. There needs to be a strong security policy set in place and ingrained in the IT structure and management of the organization. Authorized users need to be identified early on and managed. Software needs to be tested to ensure that it is secured. And lastly, organizations need to create a disaster plan and act fast as soon as there is any indication of a data breach. Issuing safeguards such as firewalls and consistent testing of security systems can help the issue. IT staff can try to hack into their own systems, maybe. They can combat the threat by becoming the threat itself in order to think like the hackers do. I also suggest that audits be conducted on the IT systems regularly to identify issues early on. There should not only be a focus on exterior threats, but also the risks involved within the organization itself. There should be investments in the interior security, such as the transferring of data from staff to staff, office to office, and I suggest a two-step authentication process to which may make it more difficult for hackers to circumvent. And lastly, I suggest that the IT management staff educate and train their staff on how to handle data so that sensitive information is not exposed accidentally. The implications are as such. Data theft will continue to be a threat as society moves towards web-based cloud computing. In turn, there will be a lack of trust and participation in the organization itself. There is uncertainty in evolving technology capabilities, and therefore hackers will continue to adapt to these changes, unfortunately. Thank you all for your attention, and I look forward to your feedback. Thanks.